DOTE.
The next tip is to make sure that when you do your transcripts, you always do it in the same DOTE format that's expected by our software. And it's just a very simple convention, but it means it's much easier for DOTE to figure out what's going wrong with your transcript and maybe give you better help. And as you can see here in our Lego demo example, every time that we've added a speaker, we've given a standard name. Here you can see R1, this is the speaker, and then there's a colon immediately after, and then there's a tab. And you can see that there's a tab because if I select this text, you'll see a little arrow appears inside the blue. That little arrow is a hidden tab character, so you can always see, you can see the space characters here as well, so you can get some idea, as you can in word processors, of what sorts of symbols there are. You can see they're always a tab in after the colon. If you don't use colons, then it won't be able to parse your transcript. If you don't put a tab, it'll actually give an error. So for example, if I select here and I delete that tab and then I add some spaces, then you can see there's some sort of error here. Incorrect character after tier name. Colon is expected. So I'll just roll that all back. That's how it should be. So always make sure that you use a consistent, and as long as you start typing the names, autocomplete will start to work, and the colon and then a tab, and then you can type anything you want, but please don't use tabs inside the body of the transcript. If you use tabs here, that means alignment is rather tricky to do because tabs can be different sizes, different numbers of characters can be in a tab. It could be 8, it could be 10, it could be 4. So always use spaces inside to adjust alignment. But tab before that, one tab only. And the problem might be that if you do a tab and you have very, very long names, then the tab is not long enough, and you can go to options here, and then you can change the width of the name column here, and you'll see if I adjust that to 13, it moves this to a 13 number of characters for the tab that we're using here, the initial tab. So I'm just going to put that back to 10 as it was. And that's the end of that tip.